Welcome to Turmeric and Tequila with your host, Kristen Olson. Questioning a better way, one gracefully disruptive conversation at a time.
Welcome to Turmeric and Tequila. We're not recording.
No.
Oh, yes, we are.
Are we?
I think we are.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
recording now.
We are. We are going to edit this part out. Yeah, I was going to say, we're super good at technology. This is not about how to do a technical anything. Starting now. Anywho, welcome to Turmeric and Tequila. We're in studio. Kind of as a surprise, but it's amazing. I think this is only my second conversation. We're welcoming Anjelica, and today we're going to be talking about online dating, the jungle that is everything around it. This is Anjelica. I'm going to introduce her formally, and then we're going to dive right into real conversation. But Anjelica Roman is a Denver native, marketing expert, chronically single, navigating Menver with a pup in hand. Nailed it with a bio, I think. Anjelica, welcome to Turmeric and Tequila.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's
Yes.
exciting.
Absolutely. Let's put your mic down a little just so this audience can see your beautiful self.
My
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, that's perfect. I'm hoping the audio is good in this, so I'm gonna lean into the mic like a super weirdo. But we're hoping you guys can hear us.
Luckily, podcasts are just, don't care about our faces.
I hope, well, this goes on YouTube though, so all 32 of my subscribers will see you. I hope you're ready for this. You're about to make it into the Hollywood business.
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay, so background on this conversation. A little bit of context. We're about 10 years apart. We're fitness family. We've known each other for how long?
Like, I don't even know.
8+ years,
yeah,
at least?
It's gotta be close to 8.
Yeah. Okay. So, met through CrossFit. I've known each other forever. I don't know. We haven't really talked a ton about, I guess dating's always a conversation at the gym.
It is.
Yeah.
Because there's always drama at the gym. Because
Facts.
half of us are dating each other or just wanting to know about
I
their
try to
love
stay
life.
out of that. Hence, online dating has come into my world. But, yeah. So, I think the gym is like a byproduct of our social hangout. So it's usually like the social first, even in the competitive days, and then the gym portion, the working out is second. But as time has gone on, there's been like marriages, we've all grown up, new jobs, new dogs, lots of stuff. And Anjelica was kind of like the go-to around online dating because she is an old soul. There's 10 years between us, right? Or no, more than 11.
Oh, what? I'm 30 this year, so.
Okay,
yeah.
well, I'm 41, so 11 years. And this is going to be cool because
you're 25.
Well, plus Botox, yes. So you'll get two like different generational points on online dating, and we're going to talk about all the angles around it. But we started to go to Anjelica because she was kind of like the guru, but also she is a little bit like the mom in the group. She's the responsible one. She always shows up with like the nicest platter for food dinners. She coordinates things beautifully. Like Anjelica has her shit together. So we seek advice from her, even though she's 10 or 11 years younger. So anyways, let's dive in.
She has her shit together, but she's chronically single, and we don't know why.
I think because you're so put together, like professionally, like you have your workout situation, your cooking situation, like
It's true.
I don't know. I feel like and you do like home improvements. Yeah, this could be your whole dating profile if you need like updates. Just loop this video.
I did actually think about editing my profile to just awful photos of myself. Like, here's how I look when I wake up. Here's what I look like when I'm hungover.
Yeah, real life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, here's me sitting on the toilet where I spend most of my time on my phone, honestly.
So let's
Great
that's perfect. Yeah, I know exactly. This is what you do. So the podcast is equally as filtered, which we run unfiltered, and as you can see, let's start with this. How and why? Like, tell me about your first experience into online dating, because mine's recent. So let's like compare and contrast there, because I think intentions are really big around it, and just the impact of social media, whatever. So just give me like the background. Actually, sorry. Let's talk a little bit about your background, so we know who you are as a human, and then your entrance into dating life.
I mean, you did a great job. I love to cook.
Yeah.
If we're going off my dating profiles, which why not, right?
Duh, yeah.
I'm beautiful, clearly. I like to work out unless COVID's around, and then I really like to sit on the couch and binge everything on TV.
Said everyone.
Possible. and eat all the things, which was great until
Yeah.
my clothes didn't fit.
Yeah.
So now I'm back to working out because
That was 2020 for everyone, though. You realize
oh,
this.
it's a blur.
Yeah. 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 Thank God.
And then I really like to hang out with my dog. I love to travel, and
You do.
I truly enjoy working, which sounds weird, because I can't tell you how many people I've met that's like I don't want to work, but as much as I love to kid about my dream of being a housewife, I would go insane, and
Yeah.
I would
Oh,
still need to
I
like
don't
work.
ever see you doing that, but I'm here to support your
When
said
people
dream.
ask me my 5-year goal at work, which is the dumbest question you can ask someone,
Completely agree.
I'm like, yeah, Real Housewives of Wash Park. It's fine. That's my dream. It's
That would
what
be
I
so
want.
boring compared to like the Real Housewives. I don't watch any of them, but from what I've seen,
Yeah,
you have to pick someone you're really gonna fight with, and like a really wealthy group of humans. So there's
it's true.
super wealthy drama. But anyways, yeah, your 5-year plan. Okay.
Yeah, different tax bracket than I'm currently.
Yeah, acceptable. Well, it's all for the TV, but yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so just, loving to get out there, meet new people. I love meeting people, have a good time with it. But I would say how that like correlates to dating is that I go on a lot of first dates,
Yeah.
like an aggressive amount of first dates.
Do you think that's normal?
No.
You don't? I think a lot of people do that.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think I have.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Do you think that's bad? I think you're putting an effort. Like you're intentional. Because what are your intentions around online dating?
I do go in waves of like, wow, I really want to find someone. God, this sucks.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you. So I first started online dating when Tinder came out.
Which was when?
Oh God. Had to have been like 2013 or something.
That long?
2014.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm doing you're about the mic.
I don't know. Right?
So right when it came out, you had no hesitation around like.
Yeah, I definitely had a hesitation because I've seen Catfish.
Oh yeah, the original one.
Yeah.
With Neve.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I
shout
was
out Neve.
like, ooh, what am I doing? But then I had a friend that was like, you should get Coffee Meets Bagel.
Okay.
And I was like, the name of that app is disgusting. Why would you name a company that? But all right, sure, why not? And like through the years, I've like had like boyfriends or relationships, where I've kind of met them organically.
Yeah.
The issue with that is that I have such a guard up between like strangers, and like the only time I'm vulnerable is like with my friends. So I get emotionally attached to like, friends or like, friends,
Friends with benefits?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
You could say that on Turmeric and Tequila. It's okay. Hashtag cardio.
Or whoever I'm in a relationship with.
Yeah.
But if I don't know them from prior, I forget that like, oh, I have to be vulnerable. Also,
Okay.
until recently, I forgot that boys have feelings and they are sensitive little creatures.
Yes.
And so that's new.
Oh. Okay.
New in the fact that like I've like actually hurt someone's feelings, and I was like, oh, my bad.
Well, do you think that's because online dating, like, it's not right in front of you? Like, there's a barrier. It's
Yeah.
digital, so
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not right there.
Well, and I don't want like a pen pal, so I try to like invite
Right.
them on a date like ASAP.
Yeah.
Because like, do I like you? Do I not like you? And then I actually had a really hard time with this like 2 or 3 years ago, where people would be like, well, did you like him? I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know. He's got a job. He lives not in a box.
So it's like, should you
like-
like him?
Right. And everyone's like, well, does that mean you like him? And I'm like, what does it mean to like someone?
Ooh.
Like, I don't
okay.
know, right?
Well, I think
Like, if you like someone, like, as a guy,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
I mean, I feel like I kind of like everyone. Like, I don't not like anyone until you like cross a boundary or like you lost the trust or like,
Yeah.
and this has served me and not served me in my life in general. Of you kind of like, I'm down with everyone. I don't, if you're not harmful to this world and you're a good time, like, I don't care. So like dating has been like, yeah, I had a great time. Like, do I want to have kids with you and get married tomorrow? No, but it's hard. Maybe
Yeah.
this is like a different way of wording, but it's hard for me to be like, well, I don't not like you. Like, I don't know, but that's interesting. When so if you haven't picked up on this yet, we have the juxtaposition right here of Anjelica is younger, more privy to the game, has been in it. I'm older, new to it, don't get the culture, don't really get a lot of it. And we're hoping to provide some, maybe some intel, some pro tips, but basically,
Yeah.
I think there just needs to be more conversation on online dating because I think people think it's kind of like what you're saying now that it's this end all, it's the answer. And it's like nutrition to me. I don't think it's a one size fits all for everyone. And you really got to find out what really works with your soul, because it is what you're alluding to, vulnerable space. And now that I've been in it, I've been like, oh, I think this is way too casual to like be this emotionally invested, unless that's just me. So hence is why this conversation is happening. But okay, so now that you've like navigated for some years and people have been like, do you like him? Like, how is that kind of shaped the way you approach this now?
I've actually learned a lot about myself
Okay.
through this whole thing. One, I'm an awful communicator.
Really?
Oh yeah, which is
I would not say
surprising.
that about you.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no. At work, I'm like cut dry, very like East Coasty, I guess you could say, right?
Yes, my heart. Yes.
I don't want to have to write a email to you that's a paragraph, because I'm not going to read it, one, and I'm also not going to write it. So like, here's A, B, and C, what you need.
Yeah.
But in the dating life, I'm not really like that. And so I've gotten better, but I've learned that I'm not necessarily the best communicator. Don't love talking about my feelings, never have.
Okay.
Guys really like to do that if they're invested in you emotionally.
Okay.
I'm like, ew.
We're
right?
also super mature, let this be known. Yeah.
But then I guess like if you look at like I do find it interesting that we're probably, because dating's now an industry. Like how many ads do
It's
you
like
hear
health. That's what I'm
that's
saying.
like,
Nutrition, and like everyone's
yeah,
monetizing every single angle.
for sure.
So that's the other and my business brain can't shut off. But so yes, let's stay on you, because I want to give like my comparative experience.
Oh, yes.
But I like this. So how long do you think you've been in the dating app realm?
Oh gosh. At least like 6 to 7 years.
Okay.
And I go in waves of I'm invested. I want to be in this. I've downloaded it. I've put effort into my profile. And then I delete it because I just get so frustrated with the
Yeah.
whole system. I've been on, how many first dates, and then, like everyone's like, well, when you know, and it's like, I don't know that that's necessarily true for everyone.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I've now you have, what is it? You have your Hinge, which I don't have right now. Right now I have Bumble and The League.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Because
Yes.
someone was like, The League, and I was like, all right, whatever, gotta
Was
be
it
the
me?
next best thing.
Oh.
No, one of my coworkers, she met her husband on The League. And I was like,
Okay.
okay. Yeah. And so
I'll talk
I'm
about
not
that in a sec.
against the online dating at all. Right now I'm seeing someone that I met on online dating. I've gone on plenty of dates. I've learned what I like in guys and what I don't like in guys. So that's helped.
These are all positives, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had necessarily a negative experience with online dating thus far, but I don't typically put myself in situations, like, again, I'm not very like most vulnerable person. So
Yeah.
like, other than a guy ghosting me, and to be fair, I was a ghoster prior.
Oh, so it's
And
karmatic.
so, 100%.
Okay.
I do not ghost people now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I actually tell them, like, hey, this isn't going to work out. I'm not really feeling this. Like, just straight up like that.
That's good practice too. I think like boundaries and just knowing what you want in life and like being very assertive in that.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, they're happy I told them.
Okay.
They're, positive about it.
I think guys are good about that too.
Yeah.
Like it's more straightforward, like, here's how I feel. And from them as well. Like I would certainly appreciate that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
okay.
Oh, for sure. When they don't tell me anything, I spiral
Yeah.
down like a dark, deep hole.
Okay. Do you want to unpack that a little bit? Because I think everybody's been there. We've all done like that crazy drive by or like stalking the social media. Like, tell me about your spiral.
I don't necessarily stalk their social media because I truly love like and empower all the girls I see. I'm like, you're hot, you're great, you look good. But I go straight to like me, and I'm like, did my breath smell? Did I brush my teeth enough? Or you're like down a deep hole of,
I
like,
mean, and should
weird
any of that ever
Googling
matter?
of, like, did I get a wax in time? Is it the
Yes.
condom that was the problem? Like, am I the problem? Am I not doing something right? And like just a hard deep dive into just like the most obscure things. Like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I've said this before on dates, like where I'm like, we were talking about online dating. And I was literally like, it's kind of like jobs. I'm like, if it doesn't work out either side, you don't ever really get feedback. So you don't really know. I think you can have your version of the truth, but there's a whole other human involved. So you never really know. So unlike a job, there's no critical feedback.
I got feedback one time.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
take
Tell
it
me about
well.
this.
Go figure.
Okay. I mean, I think it's hard to hear, but so are you glad you heard it, or would you rather have not heard
No,
it?
I'm really glad I heard it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to share what it was?
Yeah. So I was really busy, as we are,
Mhm.
right? Just as adults. And I had asked him, I was like, okay, well, I'll still go on this date with you, but would you like to like I'll grab the breakfast burritos if you grab the coffee, and we'll go for a walk around Cherry Creek Reservoir.
Okay.
Like,
I like that.
yeah, I thought it was nice. Also, very convenient for me.
Yeah.
Right.
I definitely do that. Okay. Yes.
And so we were talking, and I had said, I don't really, I'm not feeling it. I don't think this is gonna work out. And he goes, I really truly feel that you had you'd friend zoned me from the beginning, and you never actually gave it a chance.
Oh.
And you know what? He's not wrong.
Okay.
And I do tend to do that just in general. It's my ammo because I want to be your friend first.
I think
Like-
that's totally fair.
Like, I want to get to know you as a friend before necessarily, like, romantically. Like, it's hard for me to open up to you.
It's
Like,
a stranger. I think that's everything
right,
you're saying is
yeah.
completely fair.
But he was like, you're, like, and he's older, too. I tend to date older.
Perfect. I
naturally,
tended
'cause
to
I'm a
date
old-
younger, so this is
I'm
gonna
an
go
old
perfect.
soul.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And
Facts.
so, yeah, it was really interesting to hear, but I was like,
How old
"This
was
dude."
he?
He was 35, and I was like,
Okay, dude.
this dude just put me on blast. Not many people do that. So
That's
when
a
they do,
secure ass
it's-
aware guy, though. I'm
oh,
with it.
100%.
Okay. Oh wait, so could you have just said I put you in the friend zone because I wanted to be friends first, but I was interested in knowing more, or do you think from the get go you were genuinely not interested?
I think from the get go, I was genuinely not interested. I tend to play a numbers game, not saying that this strategy works, because let's be
As
honest.
I'm writing it down. Okay.
I'm chronically single, so
That's your branding on it. I don't think you are. Even right now, you're talking to somebody. So
yeah,
like,
that's true,
that's a
true.
whole shade of gray right there.
Yeah, it's like the sandbag of life. But I tend to just swipe. The reason why is because
Wait, you mean swipe to accept?
just swiping, just swipe.
Okay.
I don't necessarily put much time into reading your profile. One, I don't
You just
like
go
to
off the
read,
pictures.
right?
Okay. I think most people do this.
And then a lot of the times, I'm not trying to go off of just pictures. Why? Because guys have terrible pictures. Whoever taught you all how to take pictures,
I swear I've seen mugshots.
it's
where I'm like, did you try it all, or are you just being the most?
I would
like,
probably swipe just to ask.
I
if it was.
I think that might have been part of the strategy because now people are getting savvy. I'm like, this
Oh.
looks like a business now. Like, okay,
It is. It
I-
totally is.
I'm new to it, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
And the worst part is that you have to remember that the internet is fake.
Also true.
Like,
Yes.
my Instagram's fake. It looks fucking great.
Yeah,
but
highlight. It's the highlight reel.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't show you like me.
I mean, it's
crying
real.
on
You're
my-
not like photoshopping yourself
Oh,
in
yeah.
Dubai or wherever you go. Like,
Yeah.
it's real, but it's literally the highlight version.
Oh, for
like, it's
sure.
your marketing package essentially.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And as marketers, if we don't do that right, I mean,
Exactly.
if my dating profile looked poor, it would be a bad reflection on me as a marketer.
Well, so that's kind of a juxtaposition, though. Would you rather someone put in effort and make it look too polished, or would you rather it be real and be a little rough around the edges?
I like it to be more relatable.
Me too.
Yeah. Which is funny because everyone likes the content that's more relatable, and yet I'm like, look at me, I look perfect.
I was gonna say, but I think I have like my professional photos up. I can't take it that seriously, which is also part of the situation. But
yeah.
we're staying on you for right now. Okay. So you've learned lessons out of it. It's kind of been a good thing. Why like the swiping? Do you think that's gotten really like an easy go-to?
So, one, it's a fun game. They've gamified it. Our generation, my generation, loves fucking games. Men, women, we all love games. Also,
Okay.
dating is a game
Ugh.
that I necessarily don't love to play, but also love to play because if you don't like me, I'm like, oh my god, like me. But when they're
Yeah.
obsessed with me, I'm like, disgusting, go away.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
I traditionally pick like the douchier the better, which really is not a great strategy either.
Well, we're gym humans, so I
Uh,
think that's part
yeah.
of like there was a guy at the gym. I try and stay out of the gym pool because like you just can't fish off that pier if you're swimming in it. It's just a lot. And we've learned that the hard way. I've actually been pretty good over the years to keep things separate. But
Same.
yeah, it's there was one coach, there was a guy at this gym, and I rarely am like super interested in the gym, but there was a dude that was like my type, and hilarious. We were laughing about some meathead thing, and afterwards, ran up to one of the coaches. I was like, "Who's that guy?" And the girl was like, "You mean that guy with the bro stash and gold chain?" And to this day, it was like one of the best conversations I've ever had at the gym because I was like, "Oh, deep opportunity for reflection. Yes, you're that girl." And I was like, "Yes, that guy." And he's actually a really good dude.
You
But
might need to move to Jersey.
people ask me all the time, like, "Are you from Staten Island?" I'm like, Denver, Colorado, in case you didn't know.
Close.
But my heart is New York all the way, or Jersey. We're with it. But anyways, yes, it's you want to stay out of that pool, but I think as gym athletes, we have a tendency to go for the D bag. It's just in the DNA.
Yeah. Well, and another thing that I had to come to the realization of, I don't know if you do this, but I love a good fairy tale. I love a good shitty
Marketing. Disney has brainwashed us.
rom-coms. I
I
am
know.
Cinderella
Yeah.
for the life of me. And
Okay.
I fall in love with the idea of someone's profile. I fall in love with
'Cause they're
who
telling
I
you a
think
story.
they are, right? Oh, you like to hike because you have one picture from a hike. Then you get to know them and they're like, "No, I don't hike." And you're like,
But why are you posting a hike photo then?
"Right."
Isn't
And
this bad for
so,
everyone?
I mean, yeah, to be fair, am I working out 24/7?
You're a worker outer though, for sure.
I
That's
am.
truth.
Yeah, but like,
And you're a hiker.
yeah, but it's just interesting because hobbies come and go, right?
Yeah.
And when you're looking for the actual like relationship or boyfriend, husband, whatever you're looking for, personally, I'm like, I know I want to have kids and I want to get married.
Yeah.
However, I love that I'm just like, can you put that on my front door? Because
Yeah.
this shit's like not fun. And like to think like, oh wait, I have to get a boyfriend first. What does that mean? Getting a boyfriend. When do
Okay.
you decide that they're your boyfriend?
You have
Or
like the
like,
talk.
I
You
don't.
figure it out.
What talk? Last time I had that talk, I physically ran away from him.
Okay, well, this might be a whole other conversation of where we need therapists and life coaches, which is I'm also here for.
Oh yeah, my therapist thinks it's hilarious.
Wait, so what's their suggestion?
You know, everyone has just told me to like go with the flow, but I'm
Yeah.
a control freak.
Okay. As entrepreneurs or like business humans, that's what it is.
Yeah. And I don't love that mentality.
Guys
And
can be that way too, though.
I'm between jobs right now, you know, gonna start the new one. And my last job was so boring that I was so needy.
Okay.
Like, I was like, you need to talk to me. Talk to me. Because I'm not in the office. I'm
Do you
home.
so
I'm
do you
working
like
from
alone time in
home.
your own space?
No.
Oh, so you like to be busy.
Oh, yes.
When you're in therapy and like they're like be still and feel all the feels, is that like a
The
hard thing
worst
for you?
day of my life.
Okay, I think that's most people. I've worked on being still. I love it now. Like I need my peace and my space. That's why I'm like, oh, 5 dates a week. I'm like, fuck no, that's my space time,
Yep.
dog time. Price is wrong. But that's an acquired skill. So I do think as a non-therapist, you should probably take 60% of anything I ever say, to heart. But 80%
Same,
of the time, it's pretty good.
actually. Same.
Uh, yeah, being still and being with yourself, I think, is number one. So I think
Yes.
that's critical. Again, because I personally leaned into that. But I also think it's a good awareness. Like they're kind of like mirroring your experiences, like what I'm feeling like as you're learning. So maybe this is all just good for you in general.
Yeah, I mean, I've just learned a lot because even though I had like a needy spill there, I think what really came to like light with me was you're lacking structure.
Okay.
You're lacking a schedule. When
Because
COVID
work was
hit,
so easy.
I stopped all schedules. I like woke up when my first meeting was and like rarely showered
And
because
you're
I
like a
hate to
structured
bathe.
human. You need that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
We're
do.
opposites on so many levels. It's perfect. I love
I
it.
need like this time you're doing this, like the whole shebang. It needs to be written in a agenda. It needs to be on the Google Calendar, and it also needs to be my iPhone
Perfect. Okay.
because
We're
if
completely
that's
opposite.
not happening, I cannot function on any level
Okay.
of productive for myself.
I
I'll
hear that.
function.
I
just
think that's
real
most
low.
people. And you like corporate space, like structure, mile
yes.
markers, achievement markers.
I
Like
think I would do well in the military.
I think so too. I seriously do. I hope at some point you do contracting with that because I think your structure and your ability to relate to younger humans, like the like newer troops,
Yeah.
I think you'd speak so well to them, especially like the strong females. This is a whole other podcast, but I think that's really good because that's where I think online dating and like some of these structural approaches to anything, fitness, whatever,
Yeah.
are so good, and that's why I don't think it's a one size fits all. Because I'm the like complete opposite of you, entrepreneur. I do my structure in my version of, but like if there's 52 meetings a day, a call at this time, like that's not going to fly. But I've also been an entrepreneur now for 25 years, with a few like corporate stints, and none of those have really like filled my soul because it's just not my personality or core values. So this is where I think like online dating is like kind of a good thing, even if it's not you end up with a husband or whatever your intentions are, maybe it's just meeting new people, you do get to learn so much about you. So there's no waste in any of the process. It's kind of my through line.
Yeah, no, there's not. But it's slow coming. Apparently I'm a slow learner, late bloomer, as you would say.
Yeah. Are you like spiritual or religious?
Kind of. I mean, I'm not
Either
against
one?
any of it, but I
Okay.
don't practice either way.
Do you think all things kind of happen on time?
I do think that I am supposed to learn whatever lessons I'm learning now
Yes.
for my future.
Yeah, that was actually my quote today. It's like something I can't remember what it is, but check my social media. Let go of the illusion that it could be any other way, something along those lines. And it's kind of like, yes, but we're gonna control it. We're gonna figure it out. Like,
Dude, and I'll slide into people's DMs too, because I'll try that route.
So have you gotten more ballsy over the time? No pun intended.
Oh, 100%.
So you think you've built like a thicker skin or like?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know that that's a good thing because there's already the like brick wall that you run into.
Okay. I don't know. You're pretty open right now. Like you're sharing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not giving yourself enough credit. I feel like. I mean, obviously, I'm a friend, so I would like champion you all the days. But you know, and you're like, oh, I'm between jobs, yeah, because you just got like recruited for a major ass promotion. So you can't sell yourself short. Like you're out here hustling and doing the damn thing. And maybe waiting is also about being picky because I think the successful marriages that I've seen come off online dating, this is a total generalization. They're pretty open-minded humans. Like they're pretty down with like job, no job, 10 kids, no kids, bunch of mamas, bunch of dads. Like that's okay. But if you're intentional and like you want certain things, and there's no better or worse here. It's just about knowing what you want.
Yep.
I think it does take longer.
I think there's a lot we change, the things we like to do change, the things that we love that bring us happiness change as we get older. And then I also think that we're kind of the first generation, your generation, would be the first one where the majority of the population came from split parents.
Totally.
And so it's not like we're all just like, yeah, jump into the pool, we're getting married.
Yeah, no. Not my narrative.
Right?
Because you listen to TNT.
So I can't tell you how many people I talk to like that. I can't tell you how many people I talk to that don't want kids. And that's totally fine. That's, I don't blame anyone, And so, I even know a lot of couples that are like, we had a wedding, but we didn't sign the certificate. Like,
oh, interesting.
We're married, but just not legally. Right? And so, like, that's a thing, too, right? You kind of see those things. You see the swinger population getting bigger. And, like, there is, like, no necessarily one size fits all, obviously. You see that. Dude, I can't tell you how many times I have to, like, Google something in someone's profile because I don't understand, like, they're into something.
Okay.
And, like, because I don't read,
And yeah, I feel like
karma.
Yeah, I mean, but you're very like astute and aware. Like I think you again read more than you think, but also you've done so many laps with humans. I think you're like me where you can lean into your vibes and really trust your gut. Like I'm so with that. And I think people discredit that in some capacity, but when you've just run laps and worked with people your whole life, you really can read the room very, very well.
Yeah, that's true. It's a little bit harder on social media. Especially because I don't sit here and craft a response to you. I say probably the most ridiculous, dumbest thing in the world. I'm like, hey, how are you? How's your week going? Right?
Is that bad though?
And I copy and paste that shit to every last
oh my god.
match.
I know.
Why? Because like if you want to talk to me, you're gonna respond.
So do you have them whittled down to like really good responses?
No, there is 100% of whatever I'm feeling that day gets copied and pasted to every single match. The only thing that I've found that I cannot do is that, so I'm talking to two guys right now, a third more for just attention. I gotta be honest with you. He lives across the world and it's for attention. It's not like
you don't feel like that's a waste of time at all. You just like the positive like interaction.
I told you I'm bored. I'm not a good bored fan.
I know. I'm never bored.
Well,
but I'm also might just be feeling again another podcast, probably personal things. But I'm never not busy. But okay.
But and so I don't juggle all of that well. So right now I'm not actively swiping.
Okay.
Because I don't have the space to like be talking to all these people on these apps. And then have these other two genuine conversations throughout the day. And so that's like where I struggle, is because I find there's a lot of guys that I talk to that are, going on a bunch of dates like I am, right? It's unfair to think that you're the only one going on first dates. Right?
Sure.
And so they're dating, they're talking to people on who knows what, right?
Yeah.
Facebook Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, Snapchat, like you name it, especially when they have their Snapchat in their profile. It's a red flag for me.
Oh, okay. I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of them do.
Yeah, that's an unsolicited dick pic, in my opinion.
I mean, is it unsolicited? Again, what are your intentions here? Like, hey, no judgment here. I say if you're proud of yourself, like follow your heart, or whatever else.
I'd
It's
rather like more like a seductive picture of like you and your towel.
yeah,
Like,
no, I'm totally. I'm not here to say that's my vibe. I'm not here to say it's not, but like whatever is your thing, like
yeah, that's true.
But these pro tips I love of like quick, clear, then this probably means this. This means this. Like I think it's because I've struggled because 41. I think I was on the league like years ago because I was a beta tester or someone that was starting it new. I can't remember why, but I've never done the online thing. Not because I didn't care, primarily because in Colorado, as an entrepreneur, I'm usually the only female walking into the room. And if it's so small, anywhere you go, you run into people. This, if you've ever had a meeting with me, you'll know people come up to the table, and it's not that I'm super notable or a lot of people know me. It's just it's small out here, and the fitness industry and wellness industry is super small. So I was always super conscious of presenting myself in this dating light and then being the only female in the room. Now, if I saw a guy that I knew that I was going to a business meeting on a dating site, it already made it weird as a woman. And that was a lot of my narrative, but I was just always uncomfortable like making it any sort of like romantic sexual relationship thing when it's business. I'm very like intentional about my business because again, I'm usually the only woman in the room and it's not about dating or being cutesy, like this is fucking business time.
Yeah. So when you're on dates, are you in business mode, or are you peeling that bag?
Well, and the podcast does not help this because I get into interview mode, which is, I mean, I was an interviewer before podcasting, so we'll blame podcasting, but it was really just my soul. I think I've had to consciously put the business down because three younger brothers, longtime athletic, D1 athlete, competitor in CrossFit, entrepreneur. I'm in like masculine, intense energy all the time. And it's kind of like my known space, but my heart is deeply, deeply feminine. Like my energy is like motherly, my dogs, like my close friends, like it's a very like turmeric and tequila juxtaposition of my world. So me navigating that balance has been a lot because as strong human, we'll say not even strong female, we have to like consciously step into different space. Do you have to do that on dates?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I have to not answer like I'm actually interviewing for a job.
right. And I don't know if people, I always want to do a show where it's like, call in, tell me your truth. We'll get to that level.
Yeah, that'd be, I would love
I think a lot of women that are strong women, more women than men are graduating college now. Like, I think we walk in this energy more than we know. And again, there's no bad or good in this conversation. It's just being conscious of what's authentic to you. And if you're wondering if you're more masculine or feminine, there's this really great question. There's probably a bunch of quizzes you can Google, but somebody asked me, would you rather be respected or cherished?
respected.
Oh, okay. See, mine's cherished. And so respected is more the masculine energy and cherished is more the feminine
I
energy.
think that's the corporate world.
Okay. Well,
right? When I have kids, I want them to cherish me.
but what about your husband?
Respect.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't think if you're cherished, like they automatically respect you?
Oh, that's a good question. I've never thought.
That's
of
kind
it
of how
like
I
that.
digested it.
Yeah.
But I think your
Yeah.
immediate response, again, no right or wrong, it's like kind of how you walk through space. So it might be a better balance for you to be with a guy that would rather be cherished.
So on the first date, do you like him to pay or do you pay?
Oh,
Or
I'm
do you
so bad.
split?
I'm so deeply uncomfortable about money. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
I usually pay for everything. Like I'm very uncomfortable with my friends paying. Like I'd rather just pay. Like and I'm 41 at this point. Like,
yeah,
I don't care. It's weird. But no, I do usually let them pay. And I don't think I've ever been in a situation where they didn't. I will always offer, because I don't want them to think I expect that. Expecting is really weird to me too, because I don't want them to expect things from me. So I try and be both sides.
Yeah.
But one of the guys had a really good response. He's like, I'm paying. He's like, unless you're deeply passionate about paying. And I was like, oh. I'm like, well, that's kind of like aggressive, acceptable, and no, this is all you.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really good response. So guys
like that.
or girls out there, I thought that was a really good way to be. And I'm like, well, no. And you just kind of like streamline this whole conversation. So no, do you like to be paid for?
I have very similar feelings to you. I don't love to have the expectation that I owe you something.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that comes from. And so I normally split, or if I get there early, I get my drink and let them get their drink. The only thing that is like I try to let them pay because they want to do that, right?
I think so too. Yeah.
But the only thing I will say is that I'm a very independent human.
Yeah.
And
Number 2 core value.
if you can't be okay with me paying, we're probably not necessarily going to work out, because
So do you want to pay?
be an issue, right? Like if you are uncomfortable with me being independent and me just, and there's been times like where I've arrived early and I've been on the Bumble app and I'm like, hey, I'm here, I'm at the bar, I'm getting myself a drink, do you want something?
Okay.
Right? Because like they're running late, so like it's just like a nice thing to
Courteous.
offer. Yeah. But in recent history, I've been trying to like let go. Again, control freak, right?
Yeah.
I've been trying to let go and let them pay, and like really get into like, it's okay to like accept things from people. They want to do this.
So do you want to pay, or you want them to want to pay, but you want to pay? Does that make sense? Do you want to do the
Clear as
dishes?
mud.
Yeah. I mean, like you want them to pay, but you actually want to pay the bill.
Yeah, I offer to split it all the time.
And do people do that?
They do, yeah.
Oh no, I'm not. I don't like that.
I offer to split. And if they say no, I don't push it. I let them pay.
Okay.
And more often than not, they'll say no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's.
A lot of them are like yes.
Okay.
And a lot of them will like just let me pay. Although there was one guy that I insisted on paying for, and I will tell you why. I accidentally stood him up on our first date.
Okay.
Again.
That's warranted. I'm with that.
And so by the time we actually met for our actual date, I was like, let me get your beer.
Yeah.
Like, I feel awful. Like, I truly do. Like, I could not believe he actually went out with me on a date.
Well, he must have really been interested.
Like, stood him up, and I didn't mean to. It was just a miscommunication.
But so he believed you, though.
He did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm like, wow, that's really nice. Let me please let me pay. Like, I feel awful.
I think it's so. I again, I don't like to expect it, but I think it's weird when, if it's super casual, I can see the splitting thing, whatever. But if you've talked for a while, I guess I've never met up with someone like we don't really know each other at all. Like there's been some sort of conversation prior so you can like get a feel. Because I'm really not casual with my time, which is good and bad. But I can't like take an afternoon and just go meet someone and like, I don't know. So there's like some like sort of context of like we're a little bit more like we at least know each other digitally in some capacity.
Yeah.
I would say the first time I probably do expect you to pay, which is a little bit shitty, even though I guess I'm more traditional as I'm saying this out loud. But after that, I'm totally down to be like, oh, you got it last time, I'm gonna get it this time. Like I do like the reciprocity in that. But I do think it's kind of good to set the tone of like I can be taken care of, I can be receive things. You can kind of set a little bit of that tone.
Yeah.
And I do think a lot of guys like that.
Oh, they love that. I struggle with that.
I do too.
But then that's why, a lot of my exes are like, well, you do my laundry. But
so then you set the tone.
I did the laundry, right? And
Yeah.
and that's fine. I cook. I love to cook. I don't feel any goodness gracious. Like I don't feel bad that I'm cooking.
Yeah.
Like
a traditional female role.
I truly enjoy to cook. That's just what I like to do.
Well, you can be a strong independent female and do traditional feminine roles.
Yes.
And men can do the female roles without being considered the female role. Like it just whatever works for you in your relationship.
Yeah.
I do want to ask about, so we've kind of gotten into like the culture of it and like the points of communication. I've literally screenshot stuff to Anjelica. So
I love a good screenshot.
I think I segued, but been on the league forever because I was helping them get it set up. Didn't really engage. And then I had an intuitive tell me to get on Bumble. And so I did. And like, I think it's been like maybe a month and I've been on it, like engaged a week or two, on and off. And to be honest, it's soul sucking to me. I don't know if it's because I'm older and I'm like getting older and crotchety and I'm like, I walk 10 miles to school and I don't get it in the boat in the snow with no boots. And I don't know if I'm crossing that line. Yeah, I don't think so, but it's, I don't know. I don't love it.
What is soul sucking about it? Is it the conversations you're having? Like, are they just like surface level and you don't want to have surface level conversations?
It's so transactional. But here's the thing that I had this revelation. My business is strategic partnerships. What I do for a living is fostering and creating mutually beneficial relationships for the long term.
Yeah.
So this is literally the absolute opposite of that. And I don't think it's bad per se if you culturally understand it. I just don't. And it's what I'm preaching to the world is the opposite. Like when I sit down with companies, I'm not like, get the Instagrammer that has the most followers, we'll do one paid ad, let's see how many we get, and that's it. Mine is find a human that aligns with you, a brand ambassador that can speak your voice. We build a relationship, it's mutually beneficial, and we create a strategic partnership that's real.
Yep.
Like that's
Yeah.
where I'm really trying to forge space in the business, because I think that's where marketing's going, but larger, it's how we create a better world and a more relationship based situation that I think our world needs.
So I would say to that recently, actually, I had a guy that just asked me a question a different way,
Okay.
and my heart sank.
Sang?
Sang.
Okay.
I was like,
I could
love
tell you sank or sang. So sang. Okay.
Sang. And I was like, I love you, marry me.
Okay.
Immediately. And so I tend to ask people like, hey, how's your day? How's your week? Whatever, like super stupid, boring question, because I don't want to put effort into it.
Right.
But then I got someone that said, hey, how are you? What was your favorite thing about this week?
Okay.
It's necessarily, like when you look at it, kind of the same question, but it's a positive question that
And it's
has
really
me
intentional.
looking at, oh, what was my favorite part of this week? And that was a totally different conversation than, oh, how was your day? Good, good. How was yours? Right?
Red alert, pro tip, write this down.
And so I was like, wow, that was just like something I hadn't had before.
Yeah.
Now, whether it was intentional or it's just something that's worked before, it was a better conversation off the bat.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I do play a numbers game. Yes, I don't put much effort in because a lot of the guys on the other end aren't necessarily putting in a lot of effort. But that's why I go and spend time and like meet you.
Yeah.
Like very quickly.
So I think that's huge.
And so, yeah.
I really do. I love that he did that, but B, you like picked up on it and did it, because I think I didn't understand the casualness of it, so I think I looked like a weirdo being like, I don't know, whatever long-winded question I might have had, like something, and I'm like, I think that scared them away. It was too much or whatever. And anytime I like feel too much, which I am a lot, I'm like, this probably isn't for me. It's gonna take a unique situation, but this isn't it.
But you have literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of guys at your fingertips.
Yeah.
There has got to be one that will truly appreciate
100%.
that question.
100%.
Or you're long-winded or whatever you want to like say to them to have a meaningful conversation. And if they're not into it, then they're not your human, right? Like that was easy. Okay.
But
next.
how much time? Well, so let me ask you this, because again, my profession, when you're, why I believe in influencers so much and who you surround yourself with is so deeply important, is because you become like them. And the influence, so again, it's got to be reciprocal, and you got to be conscious you surround yourself people you genuinely be like. So the more I was on it, which again, all like, let's say a month of it, I was getting better about being transactional. And I was like, oh, time out. Is this authentic? Is this who I want to be? Like, not good or bad. Is this authentic to me? Do you worry about it making you someone that you're not?
I don't worry about it making me someone I'm not. I worry about the fact that I do want to be married with kids.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the majority of my friends, yes, they're married with kids, but a lot of them aren't. So what am I doing to help myself get there?
Yeah.
Right?
So being proactive.
And so am I putting in the effort? Is it genuine? Am I allowing you? I have a hard time allowing myself to like people in a level of like, oh, I want to actually be in a relationship with you.
Yeah.
And so I think I've actually become more transactional and like just surface level because of a product of online dating and all these first dates.
Yeah.
But when it's gone further or you want it to go further, that's where I'm struggling. It's because I'm like, I don't know what that looks like anymore.
Yeah. Well, you can go just right back to swiping because it's numbers. So, like, do you get out of it sooner instead of putting in more work to see?
No, I do get out of it as soon as I'm like, actually, like, if we're like date 3 and we're going to go on a 4th date, I pause it. I like pause the Bumble, like putting me in the pool or whatever.
Okay.
Because I just don't have the space to want to keep swiping.
Yeah.
Now, the minute that we might be done or whatever happens there, I'll get back on it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do you think most people stay while they're dating one person swiping the entire time?
The trust issues in me say yes.
Okay.
My heart hopes
Good awareness.
no.
I don't shoot. I think that would be generational. I'm with you. I just struggle with the time, and I've really tried to think about this lately because I think there is opportunity out there, and as intentional humans, it's like you want to get better at CrossFit, you train more. You want to get better at reading or writing, you do that more. Like you're
Yeah.
intentional. I am not sold that's how you do dating. I'm completely with you. It's like, well, I'm intentional now. I'm open. My heart and mind are open to a relationship. Finally, we're creating space. I'm literally like decluttering my house. The studio looks a little packed right now, so don't judge that. But I think it's like intentional movements. That being said, I've had a deep awakening of I truly believe, and this is so cliche, you get your energy right and you get yourself right and you get in good whole space, the right thing will come in. I think without intention. I think it's the one exception to everything we're intentional about is love. And like I know that sounds so cliche, but I think online dating has really made that clear for me. Like it's I don't know. And for me personally,
Yeah.
like it goes against my job. It kind of goes. It's just not digestible. I do actually think it's a lot of my age, which whatever. I'm also here
Which
for
is
Botox.
crazy because what are the like what are the other sites that were geared towards older generations?
Oh God,
Match.com.
the OGs, yeah.
Those were all geared towards like
People that are
second
like,
marriages,
yeah.
older individuals. So I mean, have you tried those? With the conversations different on those
No.
than they are with? I mean, I don't know.
Dude, the
right?
online,
I've
the
never
only
tried
reason,
that.
the only reason I was on the league was because I was beta test. I can't even remember. It's been so long. And then
I enjoy the league for the sheer fact that they only give me 3 options a day.
for it's free, and that's a whole other psychological piece. Because like Bumble, because I've been on the league forever, and it was 3 things. So I'm like, this is good practice whether I'm intentional or not. And again, I think your heart and mind has to be open. Online dating or dating IRL in real life,
Yep.
it's got to be like open. So I thought it was good practice, but it was 3, so I would like intentionally look at the 3 profiles. Bumble, it was like swiping. I was like, oh my God. I'm at Toys R Us and also a 90s reference of men like I'm a Toys R Us kid. They're everywhere. So it's like, why play with this toy so long when there's a whole aisle full of brand new ones? Like, I got to keep
Well, and
going.
it's so funny you say that because if you ask people about online dating, I have yet to get a positive response.
Oh, everyone has negative.
Everyone hates online dating.
But everyone
thinks
does
it's
it.
broken. It's like, why do we do this?
See, I don't think it's all bad. I really don't. I just don't think it's ideal for me.
It. I think it's because it's a game.
Yeah.
But
what are your intentions?
People hit on me in the grocery store, and I'm like a hot mess because I rolled it to this grocery store. And I'm looking at discounted meats. Please do not hit on me when I'm looking
but I think
at the
that's
clearance
if you're
of meats.
going like in prom ready to the grocery store, I'm more red flagged than you're showing up like post workout with chalk on your pants.
But how crazy is it that now I don't know how to respond to a compliment or someone hitting on me in public? It seems weird.
Yeah.
Versus, like via
Is
screen.
it weird? Okay.
No, it's not weird. I shouldn't find that
I'm actually just thinking out loud.
If I'm at a bar and you're hitting on me and you're asking to buy me a drink, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, alcohol always helps.
I don't know why I'm like, skirt. No, I can buy my own drink or, yeah, it's interesting that it's become that way. But I also do have a hard time taking a compliment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of these things we're talking about, and I love that you're so self-aware because it's stuff I've certainly tried to unpack. It's not really about dating or guys or the person of the other half. It's about us. Like it's about, and I think that's evolution 100%. And again, what we talked about in the beginning, how this mirrors some of our own behaviors or insecurities or strengths. It's a really great process to go through. Like even in the month, I've learned so much, and I'm like, I do feel like maybe my transition to like the other side of my path or like some sort of maturity, which I'm not even mad about. I'm still here for Botox, but
me too.
I can see like the generational difference. Again, totally okay. Like I am actually ironically okay with getting older because I love so much that comes with it. But I do think the online thing is probably a young human's game. And there's a lot of 41 plus year olds or 50, like it's a second lap. Or there's a lot of people like me that have been entrepreneurs, don't have kids, have never been married, and they're just now getting into the jungle. So I do respect that. But there's a generational theme there. I just think in any situation system, you got to like mine for the gold because it's a phenomenal process to learn
it's
a
like
ton.
Going to Goodwill to find the outfit. Like you got to search for it.
I called it Nordstrom Rack. Like you
Oh,
might find that
love the rack.
Dolce and Gabbana sweater at the bottom of the heap, but you better have 3 hours to dig and know that it's gonna be crinkled and you're gonna have to iron it and figure it out and make
You
it
really
right.
have to put time towards it, which
Yeah.
is unfortunate because we're busy humans. But then when you look at it, you want to
Anything
put time to it, right?
anything worthwhile, that's what you do, right?
Yeah, I will say that ironically, uh it's not really ironic. It's just again things I've learned. Um that I obviously have a type.
Yeah.
The guys that I end up on more dates with, that I connect more emotionally with, are the complete opposite.
So tell me about them. What are they like?
No, they're
You could
completely
totally pick
opposite.
mine.
Like, so, oh, my type?
Yeah. What's your type?
Is like Olive Denver. Brunette, beard, athletic.
Well, we'll never fight over a guy. This is good. Okay. Mine is totally blonde boy band. Like I was looking at like guys that I've dated. There hasn't even been that many. But when I like pulled them out, I was like, oh my God. They're all blonde. They're all like a certain like meatheadish, like personal trainer. I mean, you could judge all this so hard and you're dead on balls accurate. But like different sites, different genres of like lacrosse, CrossFit, online something, like they're all kind of like a vibe. And I was like, holy shit, that's a situation.
Yeah,
Like,
you got a type.
is that bad, do you think?
I have recently discovered that it has closed me off to a lot of different options that might have been out there.
Okay.
Because I was just judging on looks. Now, on and you can judge me how you want for that statement, but online dating
That's what it is.
100% off of what you're putting out there.
Yeah.
And the same thing with our profiles if you're going to like stroll into someone's DMs. And so whether you want to believe that or not, it's what you're putting out into the world. And so I have actually started swiping on people, and I don't want to say it like this, but I'm going to, as like I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's worked out, and sometimes it hasn't, right?
Yeah,
Where
you
I'm
said
like
you.
pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
It's like,
okay.
what? Why? That doesn't make any sense. And then like you're like, and I truly care about what people think. Like, sorry,
I think
like
everybody
I do,
does.
right?
Yeah.
And so, in my head, I think the older I get, the more I realize that I had a picture painted.
Yeah.
A long time ago, and I think that's hindered a lot of my dating.
Yeah.
Because I've had a picture painted, and I've had some stupid list that I've put together from whatever like cultural things that have come
Disney, TV, our
Rom-coms,
parents,
yeah.
comedies. This is why I'm passionate about branding and marketing, because we need to disrupt some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Not even because it's so bad, but because it's unrealistic and untrue. Like
It's 100% unrealistic.
So a world, we need to stop doing this. So meanwhile, I'm on dating apps trying to do the marketing thing, disrupt the world, just gracefully disrupt things. Because I think it just streamlines so much process for everyone else. And
But
then
have
on the
you
flip side,
swiped on anyone that's not your type?
yes, I'm not a good like.
Yeah.
Again, I'm friends with everyone, so but I think you need to be picky because then you entertain it. Here's the perfect example of how this works, and I was trying to explain this. I think it was to my mom, but to like kind of cut to the chase on some of it, be open minded, but be clear. Again, getting to know yourself and what you authentically want and intentions. I would coach Grandview lacrosse for I think 10 season, 9 years. And it was so hard for me to cut the kiddos on varsity. I was a varsity head coach. And they're 0 years old, 18 to, or no, 13. I don't know what you are as a freshman, like 13 to 18 or something, whatever, young.
Yeah.
And they're awesome. I loved my kiddos, and I actually had really great parents and stuff. So cutting them, like when I came as a new coach, there were some kids that were already on varsity the year before. When I got there, it was like, there's no way they should be on varsity. Like, you have to set the tone. That's the highest team. And if you're a senior, if you don't make varsity, you don't get to play. So the first year I was like, they're seniors. Let's just keep them. Let's not cut any of our kiddos. We get to playoffs or whatever. And it's like, well, you haven't played such and such senior. I'm like, well, they're not as good. They don't deserve to play. When my kiddos that are athletically inclined have showed up 100%. Now I feel bad that I'm going to give away space to this person that hasn't necessarily earned it, but yet I put them on the team. So long story short, I didn't do the work up front and just letting them go. Then I had to figure out the disappointment down the road, explaining to their family why they didn't play XYZ, when I should have just cut them from the beginning and kept it fair for everyone, because it was unfair to my kiddos that were deservingly there.
Yeah.
So long story short, I think dating's the same, where it's like you have to be upfront, because if you just whittle it through, you're wasting their time too. And then if you let it go too far, it's just not cool. It's not fair. And you should have just known from the beginning. So I've been open-minded, but I've really tried to be picky and clear on like do I actually want to invest time and energy and meet this person in real life?
How do you decide if you want to go meet someone?
Do I think they're hot? I'm just joking. Not really though. But here's the thing. You do that in real life too.
Fair. Yeah,
You
no, that's fair.
like you literally, if you're at the bar, you're only going to talk to them back if you're like, oh my God, this person's good looking.
Yeah,
like,
but
it's
tequila helps that too.
Oh,
so.
well, there's a dangerous slippery slope. So lean into the turmeric on that venture. I don't think drinking and Instagram shopping or online dating works. Like, I think you should not do either of those things together. Yeah.
Interesting.
Have you ever ordered a package and been like, where the F did this? I've had like bras come to my house. I'm like, when did I order this? Sure enough, I did.
No, I haven't, but I would say that I would probably give someone that was probably a better choice.
Yeah.
A better chance had I been drinking.
Oh, so maybe it's positive.
I mean,
Okay.
right? Like, it. I
I don't know
say
the
that
answer.
The guys
So
that I have given a chance that have not been my type, I find them attractive in totally different ways than physical.
yeah, which is huge.
It is huge, but I would not have given them a chance or the light of day had I not had been recently talking to like an absolute shit show that was my type, but he was hot. Right?
I
Like,
know. Well, you gotta like mix them all in before you fully settle down.
Yeah. But I'm just like, I do agree with you. Like, hotness for sure. Like, of course you want to look at your husband one day.
Yeah.
And be like, damn, he's fine.
It does have to be more than that, especially right now at 41. Like I mean, the job and the are you intentional in this world? Like, there's a whole list that is there. You have to be attracted in some capacity, but it is so much more than that. I actually should read your response.
But how do you go through and have a conversation? Because I don't have many conversations. I'm like, hey, what's up? You want to go to a bar? Cool, meet you there.
I know. Again, my experience is limited, so take all of this as a grain of salt in life in general. Coming from me, meanwhile, tuning to Turmeric and Tequila weekly. So the league has been, I think it's like the theme is like more business minded humans, like entrepreneurs or corporate. It's like a business is the undertone, right?
Yeah, your LinkedIn profile is connected.
Yeah, that's also I think weird, but fine.
Some people are really awful at writing their
league. Well, that says a lot about their professional situation, so also probably not a match. Thank you for streamlining that, LinkedIn. I don't get like how
maybe you just need to slide into people's DMs on LinkedIn.
I think I do, or just on Instagram. I don't know.
I've had great success with sliding into DMs via Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so okay, so people are
the only issue is that they also fall in love with your profile because it's what you're putting to the world. So how much is what you're putting out there what they're going to come home to?
Okay, so interesting on this. One, I'm working with like one of my really good friends. She's doing like coaching right now, and she's been coaching me, and she's been awesome. And we got to this whole juxtaposition of my worlds, like it's my online profile and then me, because I unknowingly compartmentalize myself as a CrossFitter, myself as a business human, myself as a person dating. And long story short, she's like, you need to merge these together. And of course, my podcast is called Turmeric. Like, Universe has the best sense of humor in the world. Like, it will just in 20 years you look back and it's like, yeah, Universe is laughing, whipping your ass, I mean, like, duh, you didn't see this the whole time. So anyways, I'm looking at merging it. I had a dude text me or message me on Bumble, and he's like, do you want to talk offline on Instagram or Facebook? And I'm like, you didn't say Snapchat, so I thought that was good.
That is good. Yeah.
Goes on my Instagram and like you can see who watched your story, watched it, immediately deletes and ends the conversation. So they just saw my Instagram, which it's I mean, and I'm a secure human, so I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. Here's the funny thing though. He owns a business, he's a business owner. So I saw who read it. So like, do you think I'm gonna go out of my way to like refer your business or go to it or any, like, I think you need to disconnect the professional situation from your personal.
No, that's not fair, because if he just didn't like who you were on your Instagram, then you guys aren't meant, right?
So you don't say anything in return, because we were supposed to meet up like that next day. He's like, it was a quick turnout. Again, I don't get the culture, so many people might be laughing at this, but he was like, we matched, and I think I said hi because you have to on Bumble, and I was interested, genuine, not a dodge there. He's like, do you want to grab a drink? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, you mean tonight? I can't tonight. Like, that's definitely never real in my world. And I'm like, but I can tomorrow, like at 3ish. She's like, sure, let's talk offline. Checks my Instagram, immediately deletes conversation. No, like, oh, I checked out your Instagram, it's not a fit. Like, yeah. And I'm like, not even taking it personal. I'm like, that's just not courteous and that's rude.
Yeah.
Is that not weird?
I would agree that is rude.
So then his business is linked to his Instagram. I knew it was him. And I'm like, why would I, like, if this is how you roll through life, and perhaps it's a snapshot, because it is, I'm not going to go out of my way to like ever do your local business. And again, as we started this convo, it's a small world. Everyone knows you.
Sure.
The reason I didn't do online dating was to keep it out of my business world. I don't know. I just thought that was like the weirdest thing, is What's your
I'm
vibe
not
on that?
surprised.
Okay.
I mean, people ghost people all the time. There's people that are on Bumble that probably just want to talk to people.
I've noticed that too.
Which
Also
is
weird.
why I like hop off and try to go meet people in person. Now, the only thing I would say that isn't doing me justice by that is that I've had a lot of first interviews, right? Is that like you're trying to, because I don't want to sit here and have a conversation and then go on a first date and what do we talk about?
Yeah.
So that's my ammo there.
Has
But
that happened
then
a lot?
I've had people be like, oh, cool. So like you want to keep it cash. And I'm like, why are you assuming that? And they're like, well, because you were so quick to go on a date. And I'm like, well, I'm not that quick to like go in your bed.
Does that mean like hook up?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm like, no, like clearly on my profile it says that I'm looking
For a
like,
relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I actually had a guy that was like, this was actually really funny and weird. I wonder if I could find it. Take a lot of scrolling. But he was basically like, I'm here to keep things casual. And so I just got, I don't know what got into me that day, but I go, okay, well, what is your version of casual? Like, tell me, right? Like, what does casual mean to you? And he was like, we would not see other people. We would go out to like movies and dinner. We would like talk to each other and like we would only be sleeping with each other. And I was like, I literally responded, that sounds like a relationship.
100%.
He unmatched me and stopped the conversation.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I think I've seen that.
Versions of relationship. What is being in a relationship mean to you? What does that look like? And
what you just said.
What does casual look like?
Hooking up.
That's what I would assume, but apparently I'm assuming.
So I have a relationship on that.
Yeah,
someone said, what are you looking for? And I was like, a relationship. Deleted. No, he deleted me.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay, well, at least he didn't waste your time.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm pretty like straight to it too. Again, I think it's just energy, regardless of what you're actually saying.
Yeah. What do you answer when guys ask you what you're looking for? Have you gotten that far? I get that
I'm kind of like, per my last email, per my fucking account, it says relationship. I know.
No, what are you looking for in a guy? Do you not get that question? I get that question.
I haven't really. I'm again small perspective. I get that on dates for sure.
Yeah,
I like a very, and I'm here for that. I like that. No, I've got it more
different every time.
depending on how hot they are.
No, just like what I remember of the ridiculous list I have in my head.
Well, maybe you're evolving too, though.
Yeah.
What do you? I mean, what are you looking for?
That's a great question. That's exactly what
I was gonna write it down, cut and paste it, and then put it in my profile.
But I forgot what I said last time. So
no, I know what I'm looking for. A secure man, 100%. That's probably my number one. Ambition and athletic are, right there with it. Attractive to like, and attractive meaning like physically, but you're secure. You like yourself. You like take care of yourself, and those can be like however their version of that is. But you're in mode to establishment, like. You know who you are, you know what you want, and you know how you walk through this world. That's what I'm looking for. So that's clear to me because I feel like I am not there all the time in those spaces, but most of the time, I'm very much an evolving situation myself. But I'm down with that too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm definitely looking for someone that is caring. They care about their community. They're like established in the fact that they have a job. They're like. You're wanting to do something with your life, whether that's I have a goal to like run a marathon,
mission
whether
driven.
That's I actually said this on a date and we joke about this to this day. But I was like, yeah, whether you're into building birdhouses. Why did I say that? I don't know.
Have you ever built a birdhouse? I feel like you have.
I have.
Okay, so it's not that far fetched. Birdhouse builders, holler at your girl.
But if I saw that on a profile, I'd be like, next, right? Like I wouldn't be like, wow. Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't even read it.
Weird.
So it needs to be in the picture. It's got to be in the picture.
I don't know why I was thinking about it, but my parents used to take me to Home Depot on Saturdays and they have these free classes for kids.
Oh my God, it's perfect. Yeah.
And so like we would like craft at Home Depot, right? And so it was just to say that it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like your job can be whatever it is. I definitely need you to be able to support yourself. And then I have had this conversation with other people. And I do think that you would need to be somewhere in the tax bracket that I'm in because I would want you to do the things that I like to do with me. Like if I love to travel, I want someone that can come and do those things. But like I'm not at the point where I'm a sugar mama yet. So like,
Do you watch Married at First Sight?
I haven't, but I do watch
Oh, the
Negative
latest one.
Fiance.
Okay, I had to let that one go because I'm like, okay, too much time is going into trash TV and my brain's
Love the
melting.
trash
No, I
TV.
do. I definitely do. But I can't complain about not having time to date when I'm watching like other people's like tragedies on TV and enjoying it, which is probably another podcast. But there was a girl that like that was why they broke up. And Gil, if anyone watched this last one, Gil and Mirla, oh, Mirla, you're fired. I was so here for Gil. He was a firefighter, like such a patient human. And you never know the full story. Like it's all like you just see snippets of the truth. So who really knows what's going on? But that was the breakup reason. I do think financial, especially as you get older, it's a conversation. And if you don't have those barrier or that clear conversation, walls and barriers build. And I think that does inevitably start to chip away at like the base you so hope for.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that like it's an end all be all, but it's something that I would personally like. People do it and it works for them. But I would personally like you to be able to do all the things that I want to do. But you know, I'm not necessarily looking for like a status symbol or like that you're like making a bunch. I definitely don't want a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
Because it's not in my nature.
Per independent conversation.
In my head, I want a sugar daddy.
Again, do you want to pay? That's all that I care. Do you want to do the dishes? Well, riddle me this, because I usually date younger.
Yeah.
So 9 times out of
How does
10.
that work? Because for me, it doesn't.
Well, it's exactly what you think. They all think that it's like, oh, well, you don't want to just hook up, because I think they have this fantasy of like you're older, so you know what's up, and obviously I do, but it's their version of whatever they've been sold from whatever basic show.
Yeah.
It's Stifler and his mom, or Stifler's mom and whatever, like American Pie. Perfect. I would like Stifler because we're basic, remember? Anyways, it's some sort of sold fantasy. Yeah. So it's usually when they're younger. I have to be very clear up front. Like it's, you're 27, I'm 41. I know what you think this is. And some have been honest for like, oh, well, it's not in, there goes my phone. It's not, how to, like, outside of hooking up, I don't know how logistically how that would work. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means. And I had a conversation with a guy, I think he was not that like 30ish. And I was like, well, I don't know if you're talking about kids, which I'm very open to have that conversation because I usually do date younger. So we'll talk about it, not right away, but pretty fast. And I'm secure in that. And I get it. Yeah. But it was a good combo. And he's like, yeah, I just don't know logistically. And I don't remember if I said kids or what, but I'm like, well, if it's not age, it's something else. And that's where I kind of get comfortable in it. Cause it's like, it's finances or it's whatever. Like age tends to be like this big thing you got to talk about, which I get it. And there's always something that you have to compromise on. That being said, I think the age in online dating is very prevalent and relevant because if you're the older person, guy or girl, and they're younger, I do think there's an agenda of hooking up, or you want a sugar dad or sugar mom, like whatever it is. Is it on the flip side because you date older? Like, do you think there's like they're looking for a younger woman, or they want to take care of somebody? Is there some sort of like expectation or stigma there?
Sometimes they do like to take care of someone, which just isn't
not gonna happen,
right? Yeah. But no, I tend to date older because I do want kids. I want to get married, and they're not always, but sometimes they are looking for a relationship because they also want to settle down.
Yeah. Do you think some of them are on the second marriage though and they want to just have fun?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. And I'm not here for that, right? I've met
so the age doesn't like really like you got to be open to all the ages. The types happen, but
so I got asked this by one of my girlfriends about one of the guys I'm talking to, and she was like, do you know like his exes or like other relationships? And I was like, I haven't even asked. But like, does it matter? Unless you have like a crazy like ex that's gonna show up, or like some other baggage that's coming with it, I don't know that it matters in that sense. But
yeah, what you said in the beginning, like the I really do think when I know, like I will know, and like I will be clear. But again, I'm the random human that like I committed to my house before I saw it. I bought my car before I drove it. I committed to my college before I saw the things I knew, the lacrosse team. I'm kind of like I do those impulse, and I trust my gut, even as like a young human. I was probably more clear then. We're digressing as we get older. Thank God Botox is here, so it can mute some of these things. But I do think like I will be one of those people, like it'll just click and it won't matter. It could be kids, no job. I think you will. That being said, while I'm intentional here and I do have some control, I think you got to put like your right foot forward and be like really intentional in it. And I totally lost my train of thought. What was your initial question? No, I was rambling. I lost my own thing. This isn't even tequila. That's spa water. We probably need tequila. Oh, I forgot my long-winded point. Anyways, anything around the age, I think you have to be open-minded, but know that th- there's two sides coming to it. I think you got to get to that straight conversation of, do you want kids? Are you off a divorce? Are you recently like out here like just kind of like in the mix? Like it's, I don't know. It's so not a one size fits all. But I think this is what I was going to. This is a very long ramble. I This doesn't work for me because I like when I know I'll know, like, but it's like the set situation. I've never applied for really a job like online or whatever. I mean, maybe I have at one point, but like entrepreneur, I've never fit into those systems. So like this is why I don't think I'll fit into this kind of system.
But how do you make the system work for you? The system is the system,
Right?
Like,
I don't know that it will. But that being said, I've learned so much from it. So it's not like it didn't work.
yeah,
I didn't put, or maybe I don't know. I'm probably gonna delete everything, to be honest.
no.
I Yeah, I just think
But
energetically my gut is like this isn't how it's gonna be. And
you
I think it'll show
made
up when you're ready.
the world work for you, though. You do realize that, right? You
Yeah.
went against the system,
I didn't
and
intentionally. I was just knowing what I wasn't gonna do.
right, but the system's always been there. Applying for a job
Right.
online is always going to be there.
So I
And
just let
you
online,
might,
but I don't need that doesn't mean that's why I wouldn't just participate in it. I'm here for it, but it's
yeah,
just not my vibe. Again, not good or bad. It's just not my mode. But nothing in my life has taken a traditional route like that.
yeah. So what are you gonna do to change your current activities to bring in new people that would allow that space versus online dating, right? Because the
Yeah.
whole point of online dating is like, oh, I don't now need to go change, where I need to go work from a coffee shop one day.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend that she was like, I'm gonna go work from a coffee shop one day a week, and I'm just gonna hand out my number. And I was like,
Okay. How'd it go?
hell yeah, it went well.
Really?
Yeah, she's not
Okay.
like she's not in a relationship right now, but just like it went well for like just like getting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like women like I know that I'm a strong independent girl, but
Yeah.
let me tell you what, when it comes to making the first move,
Oh no.
right,
No,
right,
that's-
and so like I don't know, how would a guy respond?
I don't know. But again,
And
this
sometimes I get on a wild hair and I just like go up to someone, I'm like, hey, you're hot.
I think that's
don't
that's
know.
good though. There's no wrong answer in it. To me, my through line in thinking about all of this, because I am intentional at this point,
Yeah.
and I have like work is, well, I shouldn't say it's actually busier than ever with as far as podcasting and whatnot. But I've been able to create some space there. But the revelation of really compartmentalizing myself for different things, I don't think that's beneficial for everyone. So I'm working on letting down the walls there across the board, and really just getting my heart, mind, and energy right and being open to it. I'm literally decluttering my house, so like physically creating space. And I'm a woo energy type human anyways. I'm here for religion and spirituality, but I truthfully do think everything like physics is energy.
Do we need to go get your mala beads bread?
Probably. Oh yeah, the girl,
Yeah.
oh my, Sarita,
them.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, so all those things, I think it's when it shows up, just like every other scenario in my life, I will know, but I was always ready for those decisions. So to me, it's like a readiness and open mindedness and creating space, like literally physically creating space is kind of just like my gut instinct right now.
Yeah.
And letting it come to me. Like we've done so much work for everything, literally everything. Like you're a hard ass worker.
Yeah.
I'm
it's
with
exhausting.
you. It is. Exactly. And I, in my gut, I could be wrong. We'll see. Maybe in 6 months, I'll be back online, be like, I was wrong. Everything was
I
completely.
do go in these waves as well because I'm like, I'm gonna meet him.
Yeah.
But then I'm
I
like,
have faith
wait,
it'll happen.
I go to
It's
the
just,
same gym, I go to the same grocery store, I go
Yeah.
to the same everything every
You're
single
right.
day. So what was I doing to physically change?
The
Like if I'm
routine.
going to meet them physically in person,
Yeah.
what am I doing to physically put myself out there in a different position where I might meet someone new?
You're right. I mean, but maybe it's doing like a yoga class or,
Yeah.
excuse me. I think it's.
A guy definitely would not come up to me and go,
But again, you're controlling it. I think maybe
for
it's like
sure.
you're walking down the street and it happens. Like I think we're looking like, okay, we've got an idea. Now we're gonna build the strategy. We're approaching it like how we approach everything else. And
Yeah.
that is not this, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I really think so. I think it's like letting go, like letting it happen.
Yeah.
And I know
would say
nothing about that
I've
is
done
comfortable.
that in the lieu of swiping now.
And how do you feel about it?
Well, so I'm talking to two guys right now. One of the guys I'm talking to is total complete opposite of me.
Okay.
He
Yeah,
was
let's talk
like,
about current
he
situation.
was like, "Oh, I really like you," and I was like,
But you stayed in it.
I stayed in it.
Okay.
because
Does he listen to Turmeric and
Have
Tequila?
I? No.
You never know.
Also, we don't follow each other on social media yet. And
Oh,
I don't
that's a whole
know
other
when
thing.
you bring that in. Like,
Okay.
when do I click follow you?
I've had guys follow immediately.
Yeah.
And I follow back, and it's not. We stay in touch to this. I mean, not in touch, but like
They
still
look at
follow.
your
Like it's
story.
chill.
I have
Yeah.
so many Tinder dates.
that weird?
Bumble dates that look at my story.
Yeah.
Um,
So worst case
I
scenario, we're
don't think
building the
it's
brand.
weird because it's everyone looks at those stories subconsciously. Like it's
Okay.
like I'm not intentionally looking at my stories to be like, what are you doing today?
Yeah.
Like I
Or I'll
truly
just let
don't
it run and not
care,
know.
right? Yeah. And so it's just like extra or like TV, right? But then I'm talking to someone else that I have known
Okay.
for some time. I just slid right in those DMs.
Yes.
And I was
Jim
like,
Human?
hey, what's up? No, old college human.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
I've been told
he
it's
was 3
someone that
years
I will
older
know.
than me.
Is that old enough for you?
Good question. We'll find out.
Send him my way. How old is it? Yeah. Over
Yeah.
35, I'm out.
Really? And
No,
I'm like,
no, I don't judge that
yes.
hard. I mean, I try not to, but if you look at my history, sometimes it happens that way.
Well, you have to have age ranges on there.
Mine's pretty open.
Is it?
Yeah.
I have mine.
I think
narrow.
42 is like
Now
the
I have
highest.
to look. Now I have to
Yeah,
look
I
at
don't
my
even
age
know what it
range.
is. I wasn't that. I think I left it pretty open in general. I don't know. I just didn't want to like try that hard with that because then you're like barring out.
But there are so many people. I wish Bumble would let us see
know.
the analytics of like how many people are.
I've caught
truly
myself
on
just
here.
full on swiping through, and it's like, what are you even doing? I don't know. I can't.
Oh yeah, I love the
I
game.
can't get into it. I know it's just not my vibe. I don't think.
I don't know that I. Okay, age range. Oh, I'm still on travel mode, so that's crazy.
Oh yeah,
Where'd
you have to
see
switch it to
this?
travel.
Yeah.
That's another thing when people are just in town for a night. I've had a couple of those, and I'm like, what do you want me to like meet you at a hotel in a robe? And I really think they want that, and people do it.
No, I've actually found people when traveling, that I notice that they're either traveling alone or with one other human, and you just want to go out with someone different that night, like go grab a drink and like just talk to another human that speaks the same language.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've never been
It's
in
not
a
been like a hookup
situation
situation.
where it's like a hookup situation. No.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Unless
That's actually kind of cooler.
it like really says on their profile like I'm here for a good time, and you're like,
I've seen the same picture of this one dude holding a puppy where it's like in a relationship casual, and he's obviously paying to have it promoted. He's come through a million times, and it's just the one picture, and it will just say like, I don't even know what his name is, Andrew 29 or whatever, and he's like holding a dog, and it's gone from like something casual, that's it, and then now it's a relationship. I'm like, is this the FBI seeking like?
well, and I wonder how many bots are on there too.
Oh, you think there's bots on there?
There's bots on everything. Why would there be a bot?
What's the point of a bot on there? Someone's
It's
getting
a
fake
game.
dates?
No, it's a game to keep you swiping. If
Oh,
you get
you mean
matches,
Bumble's doing it?
If you get matches, you're
Oh.
inclined more to be on the app. So
Oh, duh.
do
My
I
business friend
do I
should have saw
think
this.
that they have obviously there's real people on there, but do I think that there might be a random bot? Sure, why not? It wouldn't be
Yeah.
far-fetched. Now this is a whole industry. On the way over here, they're like sign up to do like
Reason
in
412,
person
I'm out.
like activities, right?
Yeah.
And do activities with other single people. There's been a lot of groups that I've noticed lately. Like there's like Mountain Kids that's like on Instagram, and they do like random outside things in the Denver metro area where like their whole like thing is like there's people our age just like getting together.
Just meetups and make friends. Yeah.
Just
that
like
I
there
get.
was like the kickball when we all did it when we were in our early 20s.
Yeah.
But I've yet to dive into any of those groups.
I'm just gonna clean out my house and pray to Madonna, God, and universe, and say, send it to me, please.
Have you ever been set up? What
Yes.
is your ideas of people setting you up?
Actually, a friend met a guy that was blonde haired boy, and she's like, my friend Kristen will love you. Gave him my number. And he reached out. He was really good about it. I don't know how old he was. He was definitely young, like 29-ish, maybe, or maybe 30-ish. He was a young soul, but had his shit together on all levels. Super nice guy. I think we went out twice. And it was really sweet. Like I was open to it. But like I think that was the first like blind date. Like I knew nothing about him. Like not a picture. And I just showed up, I was like, what are you wearing? Like I just took full faith in the situation.
Love that.
Yeah, it was super ballsy. Great like maneuver for life. Just like good life lesson learn about yourself. But yeah, I'm okay with that. I think your friends know you. It's like some friends just like setting up everyone, and they're just like one of those that wants to connect people. That weirds me out. But if it's like a one-off and they're not usually doing it, but they're like, I really have a vibe here, I'm with it.
Yeah.
Are you?
So I went on I went on a blind date, or a setup date. My friend had set me up with a nice guy. Go
Okay.
figure, right? Because everyone's like, you deserve a nice guy, but in past lives, I was like, no, we love a douchebag. So
Jim.
she set me up right for a nice guy, and their coworker, their friend walks in who's just total douche, and I was like, come to mama. So
Know your brand.
I ended up with the douchebag and not
Okay.
the nice guy.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, did it work out? Absolutely not. Did we have a great time for some months? Sure,
Okay.
but like, dumb.
I mean, well, we've got to learn lessons hard. So this is, I mean, some laps just have to be ran, and
Yeah.
and did you learn from it?
Times.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, he reached out not too long ago, because we were like strictly just casual, and he reached out not too long ago. And was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I was like, "No, no, I'm not here for this anymore. Like, this is not. I don't like. I don't need."
Is the
this space
circle
in my
back?
life."
Is that a thing? Because someone like was like, let's
Yes, they do
text.
circle back.
Yeah, let's text. So texted and then didn't respond. 3 weeks later responded, and now responded 2 days later. I'm like, is this a thing?
Yeah. So actually, that doesn't happen to me as much because I normally cut them off by that time.
Yeah.
I'm a good like. One, I never save people's numbers. Once your number is saved in my phone, it's burned into like concrete. It's there forever. And it never goes away. So for guys, I never save their numbers.
Okay.
And so it's always just a bunch of like numbers. And so if I get annoyed or like something happens,
block it?
No, I love to swipe left and delete the whole conversation.
Okay.
Except for if they come back with something. I have no
So
clue.
so is that weird though that like?
But I have a friend who
is that normal?
has had guys reach out like 6 months after the fact.
Yeah, that's what it was like weeks.
And I was like, what?
It's like good you. I'm like, what are you getting out of this? Like, I don't have time for this.
Well,
but it's
so
weird.
I think that guys also go in the cycle, but I think that, and this is only a very recent realization, because remember I hurt someone's feelings.
Yes,
they're guys and they have feelings.
They're humans too.
Yeah, this is new.
Okay. Take note. Very sensitive.
And so, I think they're more sensitive. So
yeah, I have 3 younger brothers. I completely agree.
How many of us are out there, and what happens when I send a message of, hey, I'm not into this. I don't think it's going to work out. They might respond a certain way, but what happens to them? Or what happens to them when they get ghosted?
Yeah, I think
do they go into a lull?
Probably,
and then come back out of it and go, oh, well, I was talking to this cool girl, Kristen. Maybe I should hit her up again. Right. So I don't know if it's they're out there being like fuck boys and just like doing whatever, and then they come back because they're bored, or if it's
I'm literally gonna read you
like
this
an Anjelica thing where it's like, oh, like I'm gonna take a break from this and come back.
Okay, so here's the scenario on this one. I hear you. I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important you see both sides, that like everyone's hurting and hate loves it. But okay, so November 21st, he was like, let's get off Bumble, give me your number, whatever. And I'm like, okay, which I don't usually give my number, but I'm like, and I even said, can I trust you? I'm like, whatever. This dude seems innocent. Who knows? You'll get blocked if not. I gave him the wrong number on accident because he messaged me on Bumble. He's like, I just texted you. And I was like, oh shit, I looked up and I gave him the wrong number. And he goes, hello again, Ella. And I go, haha, my B, hello. And he goes, much better. How are you? And I go, ha, did you get the random response from the prior number? Because he texted that number. And I sent him, and I said, good, I'm doing a Thanksgiving warm. And I sent him a picture of the turkey I was making.
Yeah.
November 22nd, the next day, yum, smiley. And then there's no conversation there. So I didn't say anything. So the yesterday he said, how was it? Like weeks later, like the chicken that I cooked. And I said, well, hello, it was delicious. And he goes, I bet it looked delicious. And I go, good holiday. Today, this was like yesterday. So again, the next day, I did you? Like, is this a thing?
So this is what I'm talking about when it's a surface level conversation.
Right.
But
over like weeks?
What questions? Well, that's why I don't play that game.
Right.
Say, let's go out, because I just want to see if we can hold meaningful conversation in a space that's not digital, because I don't hold very meaningful conversations via digital. I'm a person
I can't for like 2 seconds.
I'm a person that like picks up the phone and has a conversation with you. If we're texting, I like send voice text messages now.
Yeah, I started doing that.
So like, a lot of the conversations on Bumble are like that, but also
on Bumble, we're texting now though.
Or texting or whatever like that. But also, who's asking a question to make it more meaningful? Neither of you.
Well, I kind of like what I do this thing where it's like it looks like I've sent a huge chunk and there's like 2 words. It's like every one of his is 2 words. So I was kind of like, well, I'm not into this. This seems dumb.
So one of the guys I'm seeing right now is an awful communicator via text messages.
So I think my gut was just be like, is this
And
how
like
you
we have to
communicate?
pick up the call, phone and call, and we have way better conversations calling,
Okay,
which is weird, right?
that seems like
if
work
a
to
Bumble
me.
guy would call you, what would happen? Would you
I
ignore
would
it?
fuck yeah. You wouldn't?
No, I'd pick it up.
I don't even. You've said 6 words over
I
5
had a
weeks.
6-hour like date with someone via FaceTime during quarantine, and it
Oh,
was
God.
great.
I think okay. See, I just don't get it. Okay. I mean, I've
But-
done the FaceTime thing. I think it was weird.
Yeah, no, and I agree. If it wasn't this certain human,
Yeah.
we just like hit it off digitally.
Okay.
But when we met in person, wasn't there,
Oh, interesting.
and that's the first time that that's happened.
God damn, this is a lot.
The first and only time that that's happened.
Okay.
I was on a road trip, dude. 2021 chivalry. Someone picked this up for a future date. He mobile ordered my Starbucks to a Starbucks along my route.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And
Love,
I
actually,
have never been so like, oh my god, that was the sweetest thing that you did.
varsity moves.
Right. But then when we met in person, it just wasn't there.
Ugh, why does universe do that? Like puts it in the packaging and everything, and then you meet and it's like
It wasn't
zero
there.
chemistry.
It wasn't there. And I think we were both bummed about it, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to be sensitive of our time
I don't even know
because
what
we
time
can
it is.
go. I know it's tomorrow. It's the next day. That guy just texted me back. It's in literally 5 words over like 6 weeks. What? I don't know. It's.
Ask him something crazy.
I think I will. We're gonna go
Why
with that.
not?
Yeah.
What? He just might not respond,
I was
or
gonna
he
say,
will.
Where can I send my mobile order Starbucks to? Where do you live? That's so weird. I don't even want to know, to be honest. I don't even know if he's in the state. Anyways, let's end on this. Are you faithful at online dating? Would you recommend it?
I would recommend it in the sense that I don't know what else you would do in today's age.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
They've made it so dependent on how to meet new people as an adult. Like if you think about like we're so blessed that we're from here and that
Yeah.
we are in communities where we instantly have friends.
Yeah.
I have had so many adults that are like, it is so hard for me to make friends.
Yeah.
So like that takes effort to make a friend. Like as an
as you get
adult
older,
takes
I've talked
effort,
about that. Yeah,
right?
I agree.
And so I think that same effort would need to be put into actually having a relationship.
Yeah.
So again, do I have space to go put myself in these different situations where I'm meeting new humans and wanting to meet them?
Yeah.
So for me, I would recommend it because I'm a busy human. And so it's easy to be able to connect and like find new people. I only use it to find new people. I go then meet them.
Yeah.
And then once I've met you, if we like, I've probably gone on 100 some odd first dates.
Wow.
And,
Okay.
like,
We'll have to
once
cast
I've
again.
met you, like you either like we either like are interested in each other or we're not.
Yeah.
Or it's just like a dud. Or like I've been on a lot of second dates.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, you know, from there it's just like, are we really feeling it? Because I
Yeah.
can talk to a brick wall for like
That's
hours.
I'm the same way. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's hard.
And so via online, I'm never going to get the stimulus. I'm always going to be having a surface level conversation with you. And I'm going to fall in love with your profile and not you as a human.
So you would recommend it?
So I would recommend it. But I would recommend knowing yourself enough
Yes.
to know how you communicate and how you like to see people, because I need to see them.
Yeah. I'm with you. I would completely recommend it. I think try everything. It's just like I would say with nutrition and cross or fitness, go try everything, see what works for you. I would be mindful and make sure you're a secure human in your space, because there is like points of rejection and stuff that can be completely misunderstood that I do think could send you spiraling, and it's hurtful and it might not be intended that way at all. So you need to have a thick skin and not take it too seriously alongside being intentional for what you want. But I say try everything, but I will forever lean on to like, do what you can to take care of you, get to know yourself, and get your energy like truly open. And I believe the right thing will come in. But that's just me, not even high on tequila. So I don't know. I think the combination of all things.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on to share all your
Thanks for
stories.
having me.
Maybe we'll have to do a whole podcast on like 100 first dates
Oh,
and like
God.
100 second dates and see how it goes.
Having to remember all of those interactions.
I know.
There's some good stories.
Do you want to share where people can find you just in case? You don't
my
have
LinkedIn.
to.
Just kidding.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you want this to be business or casual? Yeah.
Well, my profile or my bio for today was casual. My Instagram is just Anjelica-Roman. Yeah,
You heard it here, folks.
it's really
Selena.
creative. Just first last name.
You know what? I'm gonna put this in the universe. I would love if somebody heard this conversation and like you guys went out and you got married because of this cast.
Oh yeah, there's someone I'm pining for on Instagram right now,
Is there?
but he is totally famous and does not care about me.
Is it Michael B.
But
Jordan?
I keep literally just sliding into his DMs.
Oh my! You do it in the blue checks.
Yeah, why not?
I'm so here for you. I love all of this. I hope you guys wrote down some of her pro tips, and I hope you got something out of this conversation. I did. I think I learned a lot. Yeah. I don't know the
Same.
culture. Like again, we've crossed the threshold, so maybe I need to Botox my dating soul a little bit. We'll see. But I appreciate your time and energy. I hope it was good for you.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
We're gonna
thank
go light
you.
cigarettes right now.
Yes.
Have a great day, and I hope this audio is good. We shall see.
Thank you for joining Turmeric and Tequila with your host, Kristen Olson. Tune in next time, and don't forget to subscribe on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.